Hello and welcome back to It's New. I'm Barry Schwartz. We have the whole crew today. Crystal's here, Greg's here, and Mordy's here. Mordy, what are you talking about today?
Danger, Will Robinson. SEOs have many concerns.
And Greg?
Mark down these new changes to organization markup schema.
Cool. And Crystal?
California wants more deeds on AI stuff. I'm terrible at headlines.
It's all right. And I'm talking about how AWS blocked Googlebot like a couple months ago, and nobody really noticed. Played the music, yada, yada, yada.
So, not Barry Schwartz as a change of pace, but Danny Goodwin over at Search Engine Land did a article on a survey of all the things that SEOs are scared of, like the boogeyman. 52% of SEOs are scared of the boogeyman, also known as Google favoring big brands or user-generated content or whatnot on the SERP. 48% of SEO said they're scared of Google favoring their own features, like YouTube videos, like we talked about yesterday, basically. Making me really upset. I'm still upset about that. 41% of SEOs are concerned about Google AI overviews. It goes down the whole list. Then Danny goes through what are SEOs doing to counter this. They're writing highly valuable, engaging content, EAT, that kind of thing. Traffic diversification and staying updated, like you're doing right now in this very video. I think like the thing that's really interesting to me is a traffic diversification thing. I think Chris, we've talked about this like offline. Like I think SEO's kind of hit a crossroads a little bit, and I wonder if we're going through a bit of an identity crisis. Thoughts from the peanut gallery?
Yeah, I think SEOs have skills that extend beyond Google, and I think that people are starting to realize that basically like we understand how people are searching. People are searching in various different things. People search on Amazon, people search on TikTok, people search on YouTube, people search in all that stuff, and I think that it's important for SEOs to put those skills to work if it drives traffic to their website, helps the brand they're working with to grow, all that stuff.
But meanwhile, one of the questions that Aleda asked in the survey was, where do they get their sources of clients? Where do SEOs get their sources of clients? 77% said they get them from other clients and other like client referrals, company referrals, where only like 39% said they get it from SEO. I love every SEO company asks or a PPC company asks, I'm like, where do you get your referrals? Most of them say it's not from what they do, it's from referrals, like from client referrals, and not from, doing their own marketing. Greg, I mean, I assume it's the same thing with you.
I mean, this is marketing. You know what I mean? Like we have Marketing O'Clock, a Friday show. That's marketing. We kind of pivoted to putting out more content and less on SEO. I don't look at our SEO. I think, there's other ways to go about that. But, those top two, I thought are the biggest things to be afraid of, as Mordy had said. I was honestly kind of surprised that we didn't see social interaction, behaving nicely online, sunlight, or life without complaints make this list for SEOs.
I kind of wonder. I actually posted in Traffic Think Tank this morning that like when SEOs go into a room or to the boardroom and they start like talking about like, yeah, they add this line of code to the website and this schema markup, like marketing teams are worried about like major problems, and I think marketing teams are completely lost right now. And SEOs are walking into the room like, yeah, your structured data markup. I think they've lost the room to a certain extent.
That makes for a nice pivot onto org markup.
Yeah, so there was a strange update into the organization structured data search developer documentation. Barry, you found this over on Search Engine Roundtable. You can check it all out if you want to see everything. The new paragraph about organization structured data was a little strange to me, and I've run through some favicon issues and logo issues from a client that rebranded, and it is not fun. The new paragraph talks about the fact that adding organization structured data to your homepage can help Google better understand your organization's administrative details and disambiguate your organization in search results. Some properties are used behind the scenes to disambiguate your organization from other organizations like ISO 6523. While others can influence visual elements in search results, such as the logo that is shown in search results in your knowledge panel. Previous to that, it had read the organization structured data to let Google know about your organization's administrative details, for example, logo, address, contact information, and business identifiers. This just isn't super clear to me. And I do think that there's again, we ran through an example of a client that completely rebranded, new URL, everything like that, everything set up correctly. Still had a problem with the logo. The old logo was still pulling in. And this new paragraph is just a little bit muddy. I don't understand. I guess you can disambiguate from your homepage, from other things, but it would be nice if there was just a way to be able to upload your logo in Search Console. Like, I don't need products in there. Like, how about I just make this a little bit easy on us here? And this is, I don't know. I don't know what anybody else's thoughts are on that, but the disambiguate thing makes it tough for SMBs.
It'd be nice if I could go to Google Search Console and just say I want this ranking, like number 2 position and number 1 position also.
Well, I'll take 1. You took 2. I'll take 1.
Fine. But yeah, no, Google doesn't want to. They remove features like that from Google Search Console. You used to be able to control your site links a little bit. They removed that feature. So they don't want you controlling anything. Although they just started letting you uploading shopping stuff. Product related shopping stuff directly to Google Search Console. So
yeah, and you talk about that. It's like if you have Merchant Center, you're a different animal, which is, and then there are going to be those new profiles that are come out from Merchant Center. So my recommendation was everybody should set up a shop, set up a Merchant Center, get your own brand profile.
But don't use AI images unless you're watermarking them, right, Crystal?
Right. So there's some new legislation coming out of California. California is rolling out lots of different legislation on AI. So according to something from Reuters, it says California lawmakers are attempting to introduce 65 new bills touching on AI in this next legislative season. And one of them includes the idea of, adding, believes AI content should have transparency requirements like watermarking, for instance, provenance, sort of coming into the new year. And this is something that's been going around for a little while. There's also talk about the fact that they might have to take, according to Fortune, there's a bill that says that they might also have to spend more time limiting significant risks from some of the models that they're training. If they think that, it could be, they find a fault through safety testing. And some people are saying that this could risk like a full shutdown capability, or that they might have to include a full shutdown capability within their AI systems. Some of the AI folks that are opposed to this are saying that it's going to be challenging for new businesses that are emerging in the sort of AI landscape. There's also folks that are saying, fine, we'll leave California. You can't make us do this. We will go somewhere else. But what I think is really interesting about this bill is that it is something that is very similar to GDPR, actually, in that GDPR for the EU was a legislation that came in to apply to EU citizens. So if you were serving EU citizens, you had to apply to GDPR, even if you were based in the EU. And they're looking at doing something similar here. If you're serving Californians, then you would need to apply for this legislation. To my mind, for SEOs and marketers, I think this is kind of a stay ready so you don't have to get ready situation. I think there's already some ways that you can designate AI content in social media marketing. It might be something that you want to get your team used to. It might be something that you want to start talking to people about, being more transparent about your AI policies, putting it in your T's and C's, that sort of thing. Because I think it's likely that we're going to see some kind of legislation come through. It's still early doors yet, so it could be a year, it could be longer, but I think it's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, as somebody who uses AI for a lot of images on my own site, I do agree that there should be a simple way to say this was made using AI, probably also for content. And it's a little harder with content because it's probably like partially AI and some not AI, unless you're writing everything in AI. But I do agree there should be something, but I'm waiting for the standard to come out before I actually start deploying it, because I don't want to reverse everything. It's just a pain in the neck.
I can see that.
I mean, some of it too, just because it's AI, where does the line, is it drawn? Like if I have Lane, our designer, make something that's not real, that's not real, but it's just your computer makes it, then you have to put it on there. It's just right. So you can make something super realistic, but it's not AI, and then AI, it's a little bit strange, but I think some of the automated stuff would make sense.
Yeah, I think also there's one of the cases that they brought up was apparently there's been some issues with Indonesia had an issue with some election related content that was going out. I know Taylor Swift has been at odds with the Trump team because there was some AI content that was going around, like Trump, like Swifties for Trump or something. So there's been a lot of that sort of thing going around, and I think the team from the West, California, is trying to sort of tame the wild, wild West a little bit.
Right. When it comes to like depicting real people and real situations, but making it up, even Google Ads has policies around that.
Right.
But in terms of just like making up like crazy images that have nothing to do with real people,
like the things that you're doing, it's your images on SE Roundtable. Like, I think, does it really matter? It's AI, not AI. That's the same thing. Because
whenever all my images are like depictions of Morty doing something inappropriate, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But
yeah, like that's not reality, right?
No.
And I think that there's some of this is like common sense kind of things. Like if you're gonna fall into like trading standards, if you're gonna fall foul of trading standards, like if you're saying like, I don't know, that this 3-bedroom house has a swimming pool and there isn't a swimming pool, but your AI put a swimming pool in there, like that's just inaccurate. That's not correct.
It's funny how you say common sense. Like nothing in our industry is common sense, which is ridiculous. But
as my mom always said, common sense ain't that common.
Talking about images and stuff. So about mid-June, I noticed that my images on Search Engine Roundtable started to not show up in Google Discover and in the search results with thumbnails and so forth. So I did some tests. Glenn Gabe also like, where's your images? I'm like, I thought it was like temporary. I'm like, yeah, I noticed it. I thought it was temporary, but it didn't go away. So after a couple of days, I'm like, let me see what the URL inspection tool does. And Google was not getting my images for some reason. I haven't, like my image file URLs were all on Amazon AWS using S3 storage. It's been that way for like 15 years. And it seemed like Google was blocked from AWS. So I confirmed AWS did block Googlebot for probably about a week or so from all S3. So that includes images, PDF files, all storage. You know how many sites use AWS S3 for storage? Hundreds, millions. And nobody noticed. Nobody posted anything about it. I reached out to Amazon and to Google. They all verified, and Amazon fixed the issue after about a week. And now everything is fine. If you notice that in your log files and your image results, or I have a chart here showing my image search performance, showing that, I was getting, I don't know, over 100,000 impressions. And now then it dropped down to like 50,000 impressions. And then after they fixed the issue, went back up to close to 100,000, but I'm still down about 20, 30, 50%, something like that. I forgot the number exactly, which is pretty insane.
I think the real issue is that your AI image banners have that many impressions.
Yeah, I don't know which one specifically I didn't drill into it, but it is an issue. A lot of them are screenshots also. But you're right. It is interesting that they have that many impressions. Either way, it was very concerning. I'm like, wow. And the amount of it was basically returning a 404 error to Googlebot. And the amount of 404 errors that Googlebot got was probably insane over that week. And the more shocking thing is not one SEO, not one company even noticed this.
That's what I was going to say. You just figured this out yourself?
I figured I didn't want to write about it until it was like I had some data. But yeah, I figured it out myself. Google didn't know, Amazon didn't know, nobody knew.
You always say you're not an SEO. You're like, I report on SEO. You are officially an SEO. Let's put the crown on your head there. Like you're the only one that did it.
Barry's a good person.
I just no. It's funny. No, it's not really an SEO thing. It's more of like, I guess it's an SEO thing. Yeah.
Now he's going to try selling us links, Greg. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Morty, put it on your list of what SEOs are afraid of. Image monitoring.
Barry. They're afraid of Barry.
Should be very afraid. Any event, thanks so much for listening, everybody. Back tomorrow for another episode of It's New. Bye-bye.
Bye.